All right, boys and girls, today we're looking at combining sentences. And this is for those of you who do not get 100% on the grammar pretest, which will probably be all of us because this is a little bit more of a tricky topic this week than what we're used to. So let's just dive in. And it says when you combine sentences, you join two sentences that are about the same topic, and you can make them into one sentence. You can join two simple sentences to make a compound sentence. It's very similar to combining two words to make a compound word. Okay? So you can take honey, you can take bee, and you can combine them to make honeybee, for example. We can do the same thing with sentences. When we do that, though, we're going to add a comma, and we're looking at three different conjunctions. We're looking at and, but, or. Okay? We do need the comma in there if we're keeping the sentences kind of the same, and I'll explain more as we move along here. Let's take a look at our first example. Our first sentence says, Jen painted a tree, and our other simple sentence, I painted a flower. We can combine those two so it flows a little better in our writing. And here we have Jen painted a tree, and then we have a comma and our conjunction and, then I painted a flower. And the reason we put the comma in there with our conjunction, both of those sentences, Jen painted a tree and I painted a flower, we did not change them, and they are both still complete sentences on their own. And since they're both complete sentences on their own, when we combine them, we put the comma in there, which we can no longer see. We put the comma in there, and then our conjunction, and then the rest of the sentence. The next example. You can combine two sentences that have the same subject. And the same subject would be who or what those sentences are about. So let's take a look. Jen painted the sky blue. Jen colored the grass green. Both of those sentences are about Jen. That's the subject of both sentences. So instead of saying something like Jen painted the sky blue and Jen colored the grass green, we can get rid of the second Jen because it doesn't change. So we get Jen painted the sky blue and colored the grass green. You notice that there's no comma there. And the reason for that is this. When we look at the first one, Jen painted the sky blue. On its own, that is a complete sentence. When we look at what we added after the conjunction, colored the grass green, that is not a complete sentence. We don't have a subject anymore. We don't know who's doing that if we just had it by itself. So since it's not a complete sentence, we add our conjunction in with no comma. Jen painted the sky blue and colored the grass green. We can also combine the two sentences if they have the same predicate. Think of the predicate as kind of the action, okay? What the subject does, okay? Let's look at our two example sentences. Jen worked on the mural. I worked on the mural. So we have two different people doing this exact same thing. The predicate's the same. So we can combine that and say Jen and I worked on the mural. Okay. Now I do have this second sentence here, I worked on the mural, is the same right here, but before the conjunction we just have the word Jen. And since we just have the word Jen, that's not a complete sentence, and then we don't have a comma in this sentence right here. All right, directions. We're just going to do the first two here today. Combine each pair of sentences into a compound sentence. Use a comma That's telling me we're going to keep the sentences the same and they're not going to change. And then we have our conjunction that they're going to give us in parentheses. So I'm just going to start writing the first sentence. Some murals show famous people. I'm going to write that. Now as I'm writing it, a mural, if you're unfamiliar, it's typically a big painting done on a wall of maybe a building. So it could be the inside of a building, might be the outside of a building. Typically they're very large paintings. So some murals show famous people. And I'll finish that up, famous people. And now I don't know which conjunction they want me to use, so after I finish writing people, I'll check what they want for the conjunction. And the conjunctions they want us to use is but. So it's going to say some murals show famous people, but our mural shows ordinary people. And I need my comma, the conjunction, and now I can write the rest of the sentence. But our mural shows ordinary people. Shows ordinary people. And let's talk about why, as I finish this up, let's talk about why we have the comma before the conjunction one more time. And we'll do it on the next one as well. So you're going to hear that a lot this week. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, so some murals show famous people, but our mural shows ordinary people. So the big question in, I have my conjunction, but why do I have the comma before the conjunction, okay? So if I look at what I have written before the comma and the conjunction, it says some murals show famous people. By itself, that could be a complete sentence, that I could start with a capital and with a period. And then after that, after the conjunction, after my comma and the conjunction, I have our mural shows ordinary people. That also by itself could be a complete sentence. So that's why I have the comma and then the conjunction. Number 2, I will show you the mural. You can find it yourself. Okay, I will show you the mural. How about if I write in a pen instead of a crayon? There we go. I will show you the mural, right? Okay. The mural. And apologize, there we go. They are showing me, after I write mural, that my conjunction is going to be or. So, comma, because both what's before the comma and conjunction and what's after them, they are both going to be complete sentences by themselves. So that's why I'm using the comma. Or, what's the rest of it? You can find it yourself. Can. Go to the other side here. Find it yourself. And by now you should be able to explain why I have the comma before the conjunction. Okay? And the reason I have the comma before the conjunction is that this part, I will show you the mural, and this part, you can find it yourself. Both of them are complete sentences on their own, and since that is the fact, then this part right here is needed, the comma and then the conjunction. All right, boys and girls, that's all I'm going to have you practice today. Sorry about that. Stay tuned for the next one. As always, this is Mr. P, and I'm out.